Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sane Minds. So, a win for America today. Trump is going to build the wall. He's going to use emergency powers to do so because the Congress did not want to pass Trump's security bill with the proper amount of funding. So now Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and all of the other Democrats are threatening legal action to try and stop something that the president is legally allowed to do. Now, let's go ahead and listen to them whine and complain.
If President Trump decides to go forward with a disaster declaration, he'll be making a tremendous mistake.
Did I ever say I was filing a legal challenge?
You said Democrats.
I may. That's an option, and we'll review our options. But it's important to note that when the president declares this emergency, first of all, it's not an emergency. What's happening at the border. It's a humanitarian challenge to us.
So Nancy Pelosi wants to say that it's a humanitarian challenge to us. Not that it's an emergency or even a humanitarian crisis. Like right here, the definition of a humanitarian crisis is defined as a single event or series of events that are threatening in terms of health, safety, or well-being of a community or large group of people. It may be an internal or external conflict and usually occurs throughout a large area. So just by this definition right here, you can see that it actually is a crisis, I would say an emergency, because you have people who you do not know who they are or what they're capable of coming from a country that has a problem of organized violence and criminal activity at some of the highest levels of government there. And they're trying to say that that's not a problem. When you have waves of people, up to about 2,000 a day, either being arrested or turned away at the border, and those are statistics from November, saying that we have a huge problem with people trying to come here illegally, crossing the border at points that are not ports of entry or places that they can legally come across. So what else would you want to call it?
And making an end run around Congress. Here he said, let us respect what the committee will do, and then walks away from it.
So, of course, Trump had to make this move. The Democrats were not giving in to his demand for $5.7 billion for the wall, which I don't even know if that would cover the full construction of the wall. That would be enough to get us a good amount of it. But in the end, I think he would need more funding than that as well. They wanted to lowball him at $1.3 billion only, and then try and make stipulations about how that money could be spent and on what type of material can be used for a border fence is what they wanted to call it, that it had to be existing. They weren't allowed to update it or have a new design or anything like that. It had to be existing steel slats and other types of fencing. So right there, that's just ridiculous for them to try and, tell somebody who's going to hire competent people to build a wall, telling them, oh, you need to just use the existing things, the things that have already been cut through, the things that people can already climb, the things that people, can find ways around. Because, yes, most of it comes from places where there is no wall at all. There might just be a little barricade to stop, a car driving through or a Jeep. But people can walk under that, walk over that, whatever. So, of course, Trump had to do this for the American people. Everyone wants to say, oh, it's Trump's wall. I mean, Trump's the one who's going to get it done, but it's something that the American people need. And the Democrats are pissed, saying, oh, well, he couldn't convince Mexico, the American people, or their elected representatives to pay for his ineffective and expensive wall. So now he's trying an end run around Congress in a desperate attempt to put taxpayers on the hook for it. And the Democrats have vowed that Congress would defend our constitutional authorities. Well, I'm sorry, but the Constitution actually gives Trump the ability to respond to crisis like this in emergencies with these presidential powers. So, of course, it's, something Democrats are against because it's Trump. And when you look at mainstream media like the BBC here, especially this author, who I've seen many times give his little analysis in the end, Anthony Zurcher, I believe it's pronounced, he is absolutely anti-Trump. and talks about how, well, Trump said Mexico was going to pay for it. I really don't care. If Mexico pays for it, if we have to pay for it, the fact is that we need it. I'm not going to say, oh, Trump is a god or an angel, or he's never done anything wrong or misspoken, because that wouldn't be true either. But I'm going to say that he's doing the right thing, especially right now. So I just want to let everybody know that there's great news, reasons to celebrate, and I hope that, this moves swiftly to the Supreme Court so that they can go ahead and make sure that it's going to pass, that it's going to be something that Trump can do. Because, of course, there's going to be a federal judge, just like that happened with Trump's, quote, Muslim ban, as the media wanted to put it, when really it was only 7 Muslim countries out of, I'm not sure exactly how many, but I know there's a lot more than 7. Go ahead and look at a map. So it's just ridiculous at this point how they try and spin the story to always be negative. Now Trump's a tyrant, overreaching, but when Obama does emergency acts to get his agenda through, he's somebody who's level-headed and always has the best interest of Americans at heart. Well, no, I'm sorry. They want to replace us as Americans. But all right, everybody, just want to let you know what's going on. If you'd like some new content, just go ahead and like and subscribe, maybe comment down below. I'll respond to all your comments and get back to them as I can. And as always, I appreciate it.